Hello, Legion. It's Hadrian. Thank you for being here. Let's play The Long Dark in Season 5.5 of our Against All Odds series. It's good to be back. This is going to be a continuation of Season 5, which we were playing earlier this year, but of course, we are going to be playing in the new STEADFAST RANGER update and crossing our fingers that our save works. Also, we'll be talking about how the new changes to Sprains and aiming affect gameplay, which you might have seen I commented about a little bit on the community tab. New episodes will be released daily at 1 p.m. U.S. Eastern Time. If you haven't watched Season 5 up to this point, here's a link to that series. Fair warning, it's a bit of a rough start, and by rough start, I mean 3 starts, but it gets going, and it'll catch you up to where we are now. This is a custom playthrough, by the way, as well, so it kind of explores the space between Interloper and Stalker difficulty while being tougher than Interloper in a few key areas like recovery rates and vegetation. By all accounts and comments, it's a fun and tough way to play the game. The current version of that code is in the description below, but if you want to know more about what makes this difficulty tick specifically, just watch the first few minutes of the Season 5 intro. So here's what's going to be really entertaining about watching this continuation of a previous series rather than a new start. I have been playing the STEADFAST RANGER update fairly extensively, but I've been playing on Voyager difficulty. Yeah, Voyager. I normally play on Stalker for fun, Interloper when I want a challenge, usually somewhere between Interloper and Custom and Stalker, somewhere in there if I'm playing on YouTube. But I have been playing offline on Voyager difficulty, and now we're stepping back into Against All Odds Season 5 difficulty. Yay! So, let's take a quick look at where we are. We are, of course, in Mystery Lake. Quick look at condition. Not perfect, but we are well fed, which is nice. Nice that we have a little meter on how long the fatigue reduction is going to last, too. Haven't noticed that yet. Nice little addition. We have an expedition parka. If you missed that from the first part of the season, we're pretty well clothed. We even have a rabbit skin hat. Hey, I forgot about that. We have a rabbit skin hat. Yay. We don't need to craft those new wraps for our hands or our feet, or not feet, but our hands or our head, because we've already got the rabbit skin hat. But in the last episode, you might recall, I was making my way towards the dam, and I would love to just spend a few minutes. I haven't commentated in a while. Give me a minute and I'll get back into the flow. But yeah, I would love to spend a few minutes, just kind of getting reacquainted with the save and learning about all of the different things that we're going to need to do in order to survive in these incredibly treacherous conditions. But we don't have time. We just don't have time, because we're playing in these incredibly treacherous conditions. And if I stand around letting my condition deteriorate in any way, then we're going to be in a little bit of trouble. So we are going to head towards the dam. I have one stop I would like to make on the way. We dropped off some things, I think, at the dam earlier. That's the other thing about starting this series back after a long hiatus, is my memory for where I've been and what I've done. You might recall that in the last episode we were talking a little bit about finding the prepper caches, and we've been to a few of the spots where they should be, including that spot up there behind that rock on the other side of those trees, and there was not a prepper cache. By the way, hey look, new rifle, yay. For a second I was like, wait, is that the old rifle? I'm confused. I was watching the previous episode, the last episode of the original Season 5, to get ready for this one. So that was the last time I saw the rifle model, and for a second in my brain, that the new rifle model didn't look very different, but it is, of course, the new model. You want to know how you can tell? Because the middle sight is 5 feet wide. I'm still getting used to that. It's 5 feet. It's a precise measurement, people. All right, so we are pretty tired at the moment. We have that fatigue reduction, which I commented on. See, that's the stop that I want to make. I want to trudge up that direction and see if maybe there's a... Yeah, I don't... Suddenly I'm not feeling it. Knowing how tired I am, it's like, I would like to make a stop and look for the... Because I think it's either there or there. Maybe it's over here. One of the potential prepper cache locations. But yeah, one of the problems with picking this series back up after a while is I genuinely might not remember what I've done and what I haven't done. But I'm fairly certain we've been by the dam, but we haven't actually explored the dam. And that's actually a really nice place I think for us to dive back in, especially given that this is a reasonably high difficulty and we haven't played in a while, because the dam is likely to have more loot, we will be able to have a look around and get some water, for instance, from the toilets. I know that's just still such an appetizing thought for everybody. But we are going to see what that place has to offer for us. Speaking of that, yeah. That was me making sure I had a bedroll in this playthrough. But yeah, the reason I was playing on the Voyager difficulty level for my practice playthrough, it wasn't really a practice playthrough for this. It was just a test playthrough of the new STEADFAST RANGER features, like this thing, and the revolver, and of course the new Sprain system, which one of the reasons that this, in addition to the fact that I've just been busy, but one of the reasons this season did not come back sooner is when STEADFAST RANGER dropped, I would say... Oh, hi. Well, that's just brought an interesting element to things. Well, let's kill a wolf to start this off. Oh, hey, he sees me. Dude, he's charging fast. We'll come back for the meat later. I'm going to get inside the dam before the other wolf that's in the area decides to, panic run up close to me and then cause me trouble. Which would be my luck. I can't recall if I've been inside the huts yet, but I'm reasonably certain I've been briefly inside the dam. I don't know what computer game I've been playing that just made me... Oh yeah, I know. Never mind. Tried to use a different key to open the gate. So yeah, the reason I was playing with the Voyager difficulties, I was testing out STEADFAST RANGER. And the update, I would say, especially for the amount of excitement that Raphael and Hinterland were showing for this update, I have to say that... Okay, have I been here at all? No, I haven't. Sweet. It definitely had... I don't think it's fair to say that it had a rocky start, but some of the changes that were made, for instance, the rifle, when you would shoot it, initially the ray casting, which is to say the line that the game draws from the barrel or from the gun model, to determine where the bullet goes, was drawn from... This is an interesting little bit of trivia that I talked to Raphael about. If you look at this, it was drawn from where the barrel is on the gun, not from where the sights are. So when you would aim with the retooled rifle, shots would hit kind of low because the ray was being drawn from the barrel, not the middle of the sight. So they changed that. But the main thing, oh my God, there were some mixed... How should I say this? There were some mixed opinions about the rehaul, or the overhaul, the rehashing of the Sprain system. All right, there's a cotton toque there. Yeah, I haven't explored here at all. I thought I'd at least dipped my head in and looked around a little bit, so this is nice. So, when I experienced the Sprain system, this is what I posted about in the community tab. On this Voyager playthrough, I was like, no, we're going to wait. We're not going to jump right back into Against All Odds. In addition to the fact that I had other stuff going on, we're not going to jump back in right now because this is insane. One of the main things that the system was advertised to do, or not really advertised, but when they talked about it in the update video and in the developer logs, it was supposed to reduce the frequency of sprains. And I was finding that my sprains were much more frequent. Now, yes, part of that was due to the fact that I am accustomed to just being able to trudge across the terrain and not have, too many sprains, although we were clamoring for more of a sense of transparency on what would sprain us and what wouldn't. So what kind of happened is they gave us a system where they said, yes, it should result in fewer sprains, but they were assuming that people would ignore the sprain indicator. Well, there are a couple problems with that. First of all, we don't all necessarily, like me, ignore the sprain indicator. And if you continue to play the game in the same way, and move along the same surfaces that you've been moving on for 2 years, 3 years, 4 years while playing the Long Dark, you're going to find all of a sudden, as I did, that, or you were going to find anyway, that the sprains were happening more frequently. Not less frequently, more frequently. It was a real pain. So that statement that they made about reduced sprains, it was assuming that players would pay attention to that. But there's another side to that as well, which is that there are lots of slopes where that indicator kicks in, where it's kind of like, really? We're in a sprain indicator right now? Like, it really kind of messes with whatever intuitive sense I might have developed, and maybe some of you can relate, of what is a steep slope and what isn't in the Long Dark. And so the indicator, especially because initially when they implemented the little indicator in the bottom right for the hill, for the, sprain warning, the indicator had a little flashing, pulsing exclamation mark, which was a little bit anxiety-inducing, just because it made you feel like something terrible was about to happen at any given moment, visually speaking. And that, I probably don't speak for everyone there, but for me and a few other people, at least, it was like, okay, let's tone it back a slight amount, please. Yeah, so we are playing on loot settings that are very similar to Interloper. So we're not going to find a lot of things in these drawers. I don't even think I've found any food yet. Looking around here. Speaking of that, let's quickly glance. Yeah, I have no food. So kind of important that I find some food somewhere in here. Otherwise, we're going to have to go out and harvest that wolf. I don't have a problem with harvesting that wolf. But we're in the dam, and there's a lot of containers to search, and I would hope that I would find food somewhere in here. Even just like an energy bar that I can snack on. That would be fine. Or a revolver. I could do with a revolver too. I would be all right with that. It will be an interesting next couple of episodes over the coming days as we kind of figure out whether or not the save is working perfectly. Hinterland is really good at making sure that their saves work with new patches. Not all game companies do that. In general, I think, because people complain so much, companies have gotten better about it, but Hinterland's always been good at it.
I'm gonna need to rest soon.
Are you? Well, I need you to keep your head above water for just a while longer. Because, as I was saying a moment ago, we need food. And yes, for those of you who are dying with curiosity, I did not misspeak, especially because I did put that emphasis on the word daily when I was talking about when these episodes would air. We're going back to daily content in each time slot. I'm going to change up how I record and when I record, and what I record, as a matter of fact, each session. Hey, sewing kit, that's handy. Jinx. To go back to a daily content schedule. Because obviously, for those of you who have been following the... Good, there's some food. For those of you who have been following the status of the channel, it's like, doing the every other day thing didn't necessarily seem to do much for keeping things flowing. Did it, Hadrian? No, it did not. All right, good. Let's go ahead and chow down on that. We are well fed, of course, which is quite nice. I would prefer to keep it that way. I'm going to go ahead and drink some water because we did get a ton of water, 10 pounds of water out of those toilets. Well, it's not all out of the toilet, but you know what I mean. So yeah, Against All Odds is back. Daily episodes. And it feels so good. Even though I'm likely to die at any given moment because I've been playing a Voyager difficulty. Alright, I think I already stepped up here briefly, but I just want to triple check. Oh wait, no. Autopilot. Not gonna lie, I kind of miss Fluffy. I said it. Believe me, I don't want to deal with a rabid wolf leaping out of the dark in here right now, but I kind of miss Fluffy. So we found a few rounds in here. We found more ammunition than we found food. Which I believe even on these difficulty settings, there should be more revolver ammunition laying around. In general, there's more revolver ammunition in the world than rifle ammunition.
Hope nobody needs this anymore.
Okay, well, we might be able to harvest that for cloth. Once I've got my feet under me with this difficulty, which, I mean, like, just by the end of this episode or so, we're going to need to do some inventory management. Hey, simple tools. I've already got a toolkit, though, right? 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 Yep. Got a toolkit. So, I'm not going to worry about that. I mean, I could harvest it, but... Is that something there? No, that's just a... That's what I looked at earlier. Now, there could be stuff in these boxes, but we're exhausted and meandering around in that state. And I would like to find a little bit more food before I rest so that I could just sleep, wake up, and fully enjoy exploring the dam. The question is, where do we go from here? Do we turn back? I'm going to have to... And actually, let me crowdsource this a little bit. I'll use your collective memory. Leave some comments down below so that we can add... And it's, I mean, it's a Let's Play, so this is what we do. We're playing it together, right? So, I don't remember where I might have had, for instance, hides curing, or maybe some supplies stashed. So I should probably use my journal in the game for stuff like that. You know, that would be useful. See, I don't even know where to go. There it is. But for those of you who might remember or who watched the episodes more recently, don't go back and watch them again. Like, don't unless you want to. Like, I'm not asking you to do that. But for those of you who remember, that would be useful information. Where is my stuff? That's what I need to know. Okay, so that stairway's broken. This one's not, though. There's still a good amount of the dam to explore. You know what? Before I look around in here, the spawns in here are generally not food spawns. Whoa. Come on now. Let me over. Stuff on the floor is stubbing my toes, so to speak. But if we go this way and go towards the other side of the dam, that's where we're more likely to find food. All right, here's a storm lantern. Remind me how much fuel my lantern has. Hey, I've got my flashlight with me. Why do I have my flashlight with me? How much fuel does that have? Okay, not worth it. All right, nothing else. Search the dead guy really quick. Decent running shoes. I'm not... Do I have leather on me? Yeah. Not going to worry about that. We're just going to go towards where there is a likelihood of edibles. And we are going to have to switch that lantern on in a couple of seconds. Another sewing kit. That's good news, at least. We'll be able to repair with a bit more confidence. So where have we been so far? For those of you who are watching who can't be bothered to go back and watch the first parts of Season 5, which, well, I'll comment on that in a second, but just to finish this thought, we started out in Milton and spent a good amount of time there until, as a matter of fact, we crafted some deerskin pants. And then once we had those, we found the expedition park in Milton, actually, and then we headed straight for Mystery Lake, which is, of course, where we are now. All right, time for that lantern. It's getting dark. Oh yeah, it's getting real dark. It's okay. We can sleep on the far side of this. Just really hoping for a little bit more food. The other issue with walking around this encumbered is our calorie burn is increased. So technically I should have rested sooner, I suppose. There's an argument for that. I would really like to try and make it all the way over to the other side of the dam before my exhaustion meter depletes. Yay, random terrifying noises. Thank you for that, game. So yeah, we haven't been to many places yet. And we're going to try and play until this playthrough has lasted 100 days, which right now it's at what? 20. So that's the objective of this series. Or until I die. What I was going to say a moment ago, as far as commenting on something else related to the restart, there's other good reasons to kind of start fresh with a new series, right? I mean, yes, there was a hiatus momentarily. I'm back now. But in addition to that, that was kind of a rough start. Not just the number of starts, but the kind of content that it was, shall we say. You guys know what I'm talking about. It's good to kind of say, you know what, let's give Season 5 a, not a do-over, but a little bit of a fresh coat of paint. Yes, I left that torch on the ground. Bite me. You gotta pick up all the sticks, Hadrian. Okay. I'll pick that up, but I'll probably just harvest it momentarily. Sometimes there can be stuff back here. But it is not this day. I didn't phrase that correctly at all. A day may come when I'll find food at the bottom of the staircase at the back of the dam, but it is not this day. Okay, so now we're in the area where we might, emphasis on might, find a few more snackables. But it's looking like we're going to have to get some old-fashioned wolf meat to stave off our starvation. Or we can just head for Coastal Highway, because cattails. Cattails galore. For those of you who are new to the series, who need a quick primer on what Against All Odds is really about, it's Cattail Simulator 2019. That's my Against All Odds series in a nutshell. Cattail Eating Simulator 2019. You think I'm joking? I'm not joking. Hey. Wilderness Kitchen, pork and beans. Alright, so pork and beans is a welcome find. Let's open the microwave and see if there's anything in there. That's a negative. Love that the microwave goes straight through that. Yay for clipping. Alright, we have almost searched this entire area, but... why do I feel like I'm missing something? Because I'm commentating and playing at the same time? No, that never gives me that feeling. That's a good habit to get into if you ever play and commentate. Question yourself more. Double check things. Consider that multitasking will make you overlook. Alright, those pork and beans better be in good condition. I didn't even look at the condition, I just picked them up. Out of sheer, unadulterated excitement. Yeah, not just any kind of excitement. Unadulterated excitement. Really? This is possibly like the most meager, the meagerest I have ever found this area, even on this difficulty. Wow. All right, then. So we're carrying 78. All right, good. They are in good condition. Let's go ahead and open those. That's 600 calories. That'll definitely help me get through the night. Not a lot, though. I'm going to drink a cup of herbal tea, not only because it'll help replenish my thirst and give me those calories, but also it'll improve my rest. And let's drink just to top off. I mean, I can make that coffee, so I'm not just out of luck entirely. We just don't have a lot of options, food-wise. Am I really doing this? Why not just use the... I was going old school for a second there, going into the inventory to drop my bedroll. Okay, let's see. Let's just sleep for... Tell you what, let's sleep for... Let's sleep for 10 hours. I don't want to burn... I know it was telling me how many calories I was going to burn, but I want to wake up with a lot of calories to burn. Dang it. All right. Well, I guess I should have kept sleeping. Well, not really. I've got a lantern. Let's sleep for one more hour just to let daylight get a little closer, right? And we're going to have to make our way back towards the front of the dam and harvest that wolf. And of course, we're not going to be able to chow down too prolifically, so to speak. Come on. There we go. Because... Oh, thank God, normal movement speed. It's beautiful. Because of the risk of intestinal parasites. But we'll at least be able... to keep our stomachs somewhat full. So the question is, I think I will, I don't know, maybe because we're restarting, the smart thing to do is just to go where I know there's food, where I know I'll be able to find cattails, where I am more confident in my survival until I get my Against All Odds Season 5 difficulty. We've always called this like hashtag AAO5 difficulty. Like that's the label for it. It's not the hashtag, but just AAO5 as the difficulty. Because it does stand on its own. Oh yeah, there are areas up here that I haven't looked yet. So we'll check, before we end this episode, we'll check around here. Looks like my lantern is starting to get a little cranky. Hang on. I might be able to do something about that. Yep. That'll actually help with my encumbrance. Alright, that jerry can is gone. Not the worst thing in the world. We do have some books I need to read. That'll be helpful. Before I end the episode, we'll take a look as well at what my skills are, just since it's not a perfectly fresh run, and we're jumping back in from an existing run, it's good to kind of know, alright, where are we starting from? Because we're clearly not starting from zero. A little bit of food or a revolver up here. Oh, you know what else I didn't look into? I totally didn't go into the room right here. Okay, so we're not done yet. We are not done yet. Gonna have to crack that safe. Alright, there doesn't appear to be anything scrumptious. Can I... Hang on, I'm curious. No. Can't remember if there's an option to remove that mountaineering rope. Alright. Cross your fingers, Legion. Cross them hard.
This stuff will come in handy.
Not what I was hoping for, but hey. win some and you lose some. At least we got the beef jerky and the pork and beans. But I don't have all the calories in the world. I only have tea to drink at the moment. So let's hope that there is something to be found. Also, speaking of calories to be burned, let's drink some water. And is there anything? Yeah, I can drop those. I can even... I'm not going to drop the reclaimed wood. Or any matches, because I could use the matches right now. I've got these teas too. I'll go ahead and drink a reishi tea, just to top myself off a bit. Okay, so we are going to go up and explore that last room that I didn't look into before. And we'll put a cap on this episode. You can, of course, like I said earlier, definitely, if there's anything that you feel like I might not remember from the first run, any reminders on where things are, where I've been, and again, I stress only if you want to, like if it's, helps you enjoy the experience. I'm not, looking for people to go out of their way. Okay, emergency stem. Yeah, I didn't go in here at all. Another storm lantern. Let me know in the comments what those things might be. There's not usually food in the safes. Wow. Where is this number? There it is. 49. Ah, damn it. 4922. Almost there, maybe. Ah, 4922-3. That's the first time in I don't know how many safe openings that I've had like more than one miss. Oh, 2, not 3. Okay.
I'll take it.
All right, just an emergency stem. Not exactly. All right, so we found lots of supplies here in the dam. And by supplies, I mean not the edible kind, which is specifically what I was hoping to find here in the dam. So we're going to have to go out and see what else is in the area. There are some cattails, so I know that I'm going to be able to find food relatively quickly, especially if the wolves leave me alone. So I'm not particularly worried about keeping my well-fed buff. We will continue moving probably in the direction of Coastal Highway in the next episode. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this one, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to follow along. New episodes are coming out every day at 1 p.m. I said it, every day at 1 p.m. U.S. Eastern Time. Comments are always welcome. Let me know what you think. It's great to be back. I'll see you guys tomorrow.